Hey everybody, welcome to Game Day View presented by Mercedes-Benz. Patrick Claybon here with Greg Rosenthal and Cynthia Freeland as we have made it to week 16. The playoff push is on. Everybody's doing the math, and the math is becoming more and more simple every week, Greg.
It is, and the math is telling me that Cynthia, as usual, is playing well down the stretch. The picks are hot out of Cynthia Freeland.
I didn't know where he was going with that.
Well, this is where it's going. Greg Rosenthal still wearing the crown, but right there, one game behind it, perhaps a cowardly change of a pick a few weeks ago away from being tied at the top.
What do you
Greg
think?
didn't want to be all aboard the Bears in Santa Clara.
Nobody remembers.
I'm just pretty happy with us for all being over. It's like, if you think about 10 wins for a week, we're all over that.
We're doing it.
We're doing great.
You're doing great.
I'm not. I'm not at all. I'm way behind. Kansas City had themselves a huge scare last week. Patrick Mahomes limping off the field. Carson Wentz had to come in. He's dealing with a high ankle sprain as Mahomes, but he's been practicing all week. Thursday, Andy Reid said his star quarterback will most likely end up playing this week against the Texans. So let's discuss that game. The Chiefs playing host to Houston on Saturday and what could be a potential playoff preview. Hollywood Brown might be back for KC. What do you see happening here, Greg?
I see defenses dominating on both sides of the ball and the Chiefs winning an ugly game because that's what the Chiefs do, especially when Patrick Mahomes is coming off an injury. That's right. I can just think about 2 years ago when he had that high ankle sprain and you thought it was going to ruin their entire playoff run, and you know what he did against the Jaguars?
What's that?
He cooked them in the end. I mean, it was slow, and then it was fast, and that's how the Chiefs beat you. And this guy, injuries just don't seem to matter, and I know he's not playing very well, and he's going up against a really good defense, and that's why I don't think they're going to really score that much. But when it comes to the fourth quarter and making the drive that you need to salt the game away, I think they get it done 17-13. Chiefs win, and they cover the number.
Ooh, well, I don't have them covering the number. I have them with a 2-point win in this matchup, 23-21. When I'm looking at, you know who else is facing a strong defense in this one?
Yeah.
CJ Stroud. And then when I look at what's the difference between this year and last year, it's really how he's performed against zone defense. Last year, that was a huge source of success, 15 touchdowns to just 2 interceptions. This year, with around the same number of passing yards per game, he's averaging, 9 touchdowns with 8 interceptions. That's a huge difference and a huge source of a problem. Well, what's going on? The defenses are disguising man versus zone. Check. The Steve Spagnuolo Chiefs can do that really well. They're getting pressure along the interior of that O-line. Check. We know that they can do that as well. And then they're getting a lot of penalties on that offense. So C.J. Stroud's going to find himself in a very difficult situation yet again in this one.
I've got a low-scoring game as well with you guys, but it's probably splitting the difference. I've got an 18-17 game, but I have the Houston Texans winning. These are two teams that are very similar offensively. In fact, it's just 1/10 of a point that separates them in points per game. But the fact is, the Kansas City Chiefs have had trouble protecting Patrick Mahomes, and the Houston Texans have the best edge duo in the entire league, the only pair of teammates in the NFL with 10 or more sacks. Danielle Hunter has 12 sacks, and Will Anderson has missed a couple of games. He has 10.5, a top 10 passing defense in every category per NFL stats. Short passing, long passing, play action passing. The only one the Chiefs have an advantage down the list is quick passing. And we saw what the Texans were able to do against Tua and the Miami Dolphins. So yeah, I'll go solo here and be absolutely fine with it. 18-17 Texans win, which is certainly doomed. Congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs as we go to our next Saturday game. Similar to Greg and Cynthia's rivalry in our picks competition, the Steelers and the Ravens have an equally vicious rivalry, which apparently makes me the Cleveland Browns. The teams are set to square off Saturday, but before they do, let's take a quick look back at their Week 11 matchup.
This is the group. Look at me. This is the group. When the team says, let's get them, they're talking about this group. That's the only reason I played wide out. I had to be in that group. My ass should have played safety, but I just wanted to be in that group.
The handoff to Henry on the right side, and he's going to pick up first down yardage, but he's lost the football. And the Steelers have the ball.
Yes, huge, brother.
Deep drop, timing route, drops it in the bucket. Wilson is claiming he took it away, and he did.
And he was working it free as they were going down.
My hands were through his, and that hit me right in the hand. When they're up against it, they're going to run Lamar. Be great.
And the Ravens will go for 2 with 1:06 left to play. Lamar running to the left. There's a crowd of Steelers. He fakes one. He can't get the ball out of his hands. He lobs it in the air, and it will fall incomplete.
What a legendary play, brother. Good dog.
Classic AFC North battle belongs to Pittsburgh.
That was Active Mike, presented by the Wells Fargo Active Cash credit card. As we look to this rivalry matchup, big stakes between the Steelers and Ravens rematch. Pittsburgh can clinch the division with a win. George Pickens is out, but T.J. Watt is expected to play. So that exchange, does that work out for Pittsburgh? Right?
It does not work out. You need George Pickens out there. I don't think they score enough. 26-13. I have the Ravens winning. I don't think it's close because I think this is the best overall group of weapons Lamar Jackson has ever had, and the tight end position is such a big part of that. People say, okay, like Lamar doesn't have enough guys to throw to. How about the all-time leading touchdown scorer as a pass catcher in Mark Andrews, who after a quiet start is back to being Mark Andrews. Then you complement him with Isaiah Likely, who is just a dynamic playmaker, and the matchups that you can get in the running game and in the receiving game against these Steelers linebackers, I think are really advantageous. After the bye, they used both tight ends on 44% of their snaps against the Giants last week. Look for them to do more of that, get heavy, and beat up the Steelers.
Ooh, well, I love watching Lamar Jackson spin it. It's so much fun. But I want to talk about something that is driving my win for Baltimore 27-20, but on the other side of the ball. That is Russell Wilson, who we saw those deep plays. You saw George Pickens all over that game in Week 11. But this time, we've seen a little bit of causes for concern in terms of the comfort level of Russell Wilson, who's now throwing the ball on 27% of his dropbacks. That's the highest in the league. And interesting, now we've seen 2 games in a row where he has sub 200 passing yards. Those 2 games line up with George Pickens being out. My whole point here is now we're starting to see panic mode. A little bit of like, what's going on? Where's my dude? What happens when this deep pass doesn't work? This is a situation that doesn't bode well for Russell Wilson in this matchup at this point in the season.
I've got a Baltimore Ravens win as well, especially considering Russ, the biggest difficulty that Greg mentioned is the fact that there's no George Pickens there. So the explosive play isn't. The explosive play is always there for the Baltimore Ravens. Far and away leading the NFL in that category. Year 2 with Todd Monken has been great, and a big part of that has been Rashad Bateman.
That's how I feel too.
Yes, that's what it was, because the passes were looking great against the Giants, and this is not the Giants defense coming up by any stretch, regardless of T.J. Watt's health status. But the problem, Rashad Bateman was on the injury report late this week with a foot, but the Ravens are so versatile, they could just get more 2 tight end. Not going to be Deontay Johnson because he's out this week as well, but just confidence in playing the Steelers for the second time and this one being at home and the margin simply being a 2-point conversion the last time around. I feel comfortable. We're all there. Meme away, Steelers fans. Speaking of the Steelers and Ravens, you can also catch both games that we just talked about on Christmas Day, except the other teams are playing the other teams. It's like a little in-season tournament. Huge playoff implications live on Netflix on Christmas Day, starting at 1 p.m. Eastern. The Kansas City Chiefs taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers, followed up by the Baltimore Ravens and the Houston Texans at 4:30 p.m. Eastern. Speaking of holiday cheer, let's head right to the city of brotherly love.
Brown out to the far side by his lonesome. Hurst this time backs up. Look, fires complete. A.J. Brown in the back of the end zone.
Fantastic.
After the game, the reporters will ask A.J. Brown, what do you like best about this team? And he's going to say, passing.
Turns out winning and scoring makes everybody happy. A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts just fine after last week. The Eagles now face off against Jaden Daniels and the Commanders Sunday. Philly has won 10 straight. Do they win 11 straight this time next week, Cynthia?
They sure do. I have 25-21. My biggest question was that the dance from Kid and Play?
Yes, sure was.
Okay, just making sure, because they kind of didn't finish it. Anyways, we're going to talk about that some other time. But I want to talk about Nolan Smith, because in all of this mess, he hasn't gotten his flowers. This man is doing terrible things to opposing quarterbacks. Great if you are a Philadelphia Eagles fan, but if you're Jaden Daniels, he's coming for you. This man's pressure rate is coming right at you, and maybe we don't talk about him enough. We talk about Jalen Carter, okay. We talk about controversies on the offense, if they like each other or not. But you know what? Let's talk about this defense. Between him and Zach Bond, there are some guys who just don't get enough love. We are giving them love right here on this show.
Yeah, there's something about the Eagles that year after year, you just look up front on both sides of the ball, and they're just dominant. And the one constant on the offense is Lane Johnson. I think the Eagles win this game. I think they do it going away because their run game will just lean on Washington like they did the first time around. 27-15 is my score. Lane Johnson last week got banged up, and you're worried. He's going up against TJ Watt. You know how many pressures Lane Johnson gave up last week? 0. This is an all-time great who's still at the absolute peak of his powers. First ballot Hall of Famer. In the mix, I would say, as maybe the greatest right tackle of all time, maybe the greatest offensive lineman of the last 20 years. Like, he's right there with Joe Thomas. Maybe doesn't get that sort of love, but he has that sort of career going right now.
Yeah, the Eagles were able to do things in a big stretch without. Also, they've missed Lane Johnson for parts of this season. That was concerning. They were able to overcome Landon Dickerson missing parts of last week. No concerns. The concerns about other spots, coaches beefing, players beefing. No concerns there. Nobody's concerned about Devontae Smith either. A guy who's playing in the slot now more than he has in his entire career. In fact, it's almost double the amount of snaps from the slot. Speaking of career highs, he had a career high in 11 catches last week. So, yeah, they wanted to work on the passing game. Turns out we've seen Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown be successful. It's not like those guys are gone. They can just turn it up when they need to, and they did last week against Pittsburgh. We all agree they win this game in the division against the Commanders. Just getting started here on Game Day View. Don't look now. Well, I guess you can because the bump's coming up. Sam Darnold's got the Vikings cooking. Minnesota is caught up to the Lions in the NFC North, but they've got their eyes set at the #1 overall seed in the conference. How far can they go? This week in Seattle's big. We'll tell you how we think it will go next.
NFL Game Day View is presented by Mercedes-Benz and the Holiday Love Celebration. Celebrate the journeys that bring us closer together.
It's time for the Drive to Excellence presented by Mercedes-Benz. As we look at the NFC playoff picture, you hear Cynthia sigh, despite the fact that the Lions still in position to have the #1 overall seed in the NFC, but there's a couple of other teams at 12-2. And then as we let's get to the Drive to Excellence presented by Mercedes-Benz because it's a big matchup between the Vikings and the Seahawks. After an injury scare last week, Geno Smith is expected to play, and he's a big reason why I have Seattle winning 24-22 because we have not one but two former Jets quarterbacks now with franchises that actually support and enable them. They're both good, but Geno's better right now in one spot. Since the bye back in Week 11 for the Seattle Seahawks, with a minimum of 10 dropbacks, Geno Smith has the highest completion percentage over expected against 5 or more pass rushers. Why is that important? Because they're playing the Minnesota Vikings, something they are certainly willing to do with Brian Flores calling up the plays. It feels like a lot, but the Seahawks sneakily kind of need this one, Greg. That's why I feel confident in them at home with Geno playing well against them.
Okay, they need it. I don't know that I'm confident. I think they cover that number, and if I'm going to have them cover the number, let's just go all the way and have Seattle win this game against Minnesota, in part because their defense, I think, bounces back. The Packers gave them a lot early last week, but I believe Ernest Jones and this Seattle defense can figure things out. And against the Vikings, I think having a strong second level not only can help stop the run against Aaron Jones, and Seattle's been much better stopping the run, except for that first half against the Packers, but they've been much better since picking up Ernest Jones. But also in the passing game, they have been better at the second level, and I think they can force Sam Darnold into mistakes. I don't know if I feel that confident, but I'm hoping as I send it over to the more Christmassy part of the set, Cynthia Freeland. I noticed that like when Cynthia's on her one shot, it's just way more festive than when Patrick and I are. And she's got that jacket. Look at that. She's like a little elf.
You know, this is our last show before Christmas. Had to spice it up a little bit. All right. I actually have the Minnesota Vikings in this matchup, 23-21, the messy middle, if you will. So I guess I'm kind of on the side of that, but it is a prime number in terms of straight up picks. When I'm looking at the reason why, what, you laughing at my diddly-dee?
Yes.
Justin Jefferson. You're giving me the Minnesota Vikings, who are favored with Justin Jefferson. Okay, fine by me. I'll take it. The reality is it's not just Jefferson, but it's the addition of Addison, see what I did there? Hawkinson and Jefferson that all together create just such a problem. Now layer in Aaron Jones, and I don't care if your linebacker level is great or I don't care if individual cornerbacks are great. The model says Justin Jefferson and this run and pass attack just has an advantage over the Seahawks. I'm not going to say I liked it. And 2 weeks ago, I looked back. The model had the opposite, but potential injuries to Geno Smith. Now, even if he's playing like great, but is it 100%? We can't factor that in. If it's 80% Geno, Minnesota wins.
Yeah, the explanation for that would be how Sam Howell looked in the last game. Perhaps that's why you would run 80% Geno out there. The Vikings looking up at the Lions still, Cynthia, in the standings. Detroit came up short against the Bills last week, but it certainly was not because of their offense.
Fake it to him this time, and they got a wide open target. It's one of the linemen. It's Skipper.
So they put him at the tight end position, and after the motion, you block, and just skip out of there, Mr. Skipper. And look at this. I want to hit you. Get over here.
I don't know if he wanted to hit him, Tony. Looked like the 2-yard line got a trip in on damn Skipper. The play was sweet, but the Lions came up just short last week. They got a ton of injuries, but are looking to bounce back against the Bears. How big will the bounce back be, Cynthia?
I have a touchdown bounce back, 27-20 in this matchup. You saw the weird creative play to Dan Skipper. Luckily, he didn't throw up after, although that was pretty funny the week prior. But anyways, I also think Jamison Williams and Tim Patrick, these are the type of guys who are going to be used in ways we maybe haven't seen before, especially Jamison Williams, who we know has some wheels on him. You're watching plays where he's catching the football now, but don't be surprised if he lines up in the backfield. Don't be surprised if we see him do something that, maybe, I don't know, something that looks like something and looks like something else, right? Some trickeration, some things where I'm trying to kind of politely request that they use him in, flea flicker. It's just stuff that tricks the defense. This is a defense you can run on, especially running to the outside. Just do that. Jamison Williams, take the easier thing. Jamison Williams is super fast. You can run on the Bears to the outside. There you go.
Okay, so earlier there was a sigh.
Yeah, the sigh is because now the Eagles in my model are forecast to be the 1 seed, which means they don't get a bye, the Lions, which means that the Eagles are playing at home for the last time until the potential Super Bowl.
We'll see. First of all, I just would like to take you back to a different version of Cynthia years ago and hear that you're sighing because your Lions are only 12-2 and tied for the bye. Let's have some confidence.
Yeah,
let's be like the Lions. Let's crush the Bears. They're going to win 41-13. I'm going to go back and tell that Cynthia, yes, you're going to have a lot of injuries. Would you take this situation, though? You have the best offense in the entire NFL. You have an MVP candidate and a recognized top 5 quarterback in Jared Goff, who is maybe weirdly underrated now because he's the same guy each and every week. You have a great coordinator dialing up plays, who's finding receivers open, and you have a quarterback who is just on time, on rhythm, been in that offense so long that he gets the guys to the receiver in stride. I know the defense is all injured, and that's going to come up in the next few weeks against better competition. The Bears are not that team. They're going to want to feel better this week. They're going to put a 40 burger on them, and they're going to cover this by so much it's not my last time talking about it in this show.
I feel like I should have gone between you guys. I have almost the same score Cynthia does.
That's fine,
28-20. So, Greg, I want to take the thunder away from Greg's speech. We wish that the thunder aspect of the Detroit Lions was still around. Hopefully, David Montgomery is able to make a quick recovery, whatever route that he chooses. But what a luxury it is to have Jahmyr Gibbs there, who far and away leads all running backs in explosive run rate at 17.8%. He's just ahead of Derrick Henry in terms of explosive runs on the season on like 70 fewer carries. He can take the top off of the defense. In the run game, I know Cynthia wants J-Mo to get back there as well to attack these Bears on the edge, and they can do it. They can beat you in so many different places. We're all on the Detroit Lions. And yes, past version of Cynthia, they're still really good. We'll tell the present version as well. Coming up, folks, Matthew Stafford and the Rams are heating up. They've got a big one coming up against the Jets. It's one of those games, though. East Coast, early kickoff. Aaron Rodgers playing deceptively well. Could the Jets pull off an upset? It's possible. We'll tell you what we think next on Game Day View.
Want more football stats? Just ask Siri. Who leads the league in touchdowns?
Deep for Adams. He's got Devontae Adams. Adams is going to take it into the end zone.
Blitz between 2 defenders. Savage, the other guy, in trail, and Devontae Adams with his second touchdown.
Huge second half for Davante Adams last week. Time to seize the season, presented by Caesars Sportsbook as we look at the first touchdown score odds between the Rams going all the way across the United States to take on the Jets at MetLife. Kyren Williams, Puka Nacua leading the way, and then Breece Hall, the first Jet, at plus 600. This game in MetLife where LA is sitting in first place in the NFC West right now, but Rodgers and the Jets have been playing better. Who wins, Greg?
I think the Rams win, but they've been a little enigmatic, I would say, when they've gone east. It's been close. So I have the Jets covering because Aaron Rodgers in this offense is finally looking like you hoped it would look back in September. Aaron Rodgers was their leading rusher last week, over 45 yards. He really has been moving better. Some of it is matchup based. I don't think this is one of the better offenses in the league, but I think now with Davante and Garrett Wilson a little more in sync with their quarterback and Aaron Rodgers just a little bit more willing to hold on to the ball, I think they can score against average defenses, and that's what I would consider the Rams right now. They're not great in the secondary. Their pass rush, especially Jared Verse, has fallen off just a bit lately, so I think the Rams are really going to sweat this one out. It's going to be close, but they do get the win.
I have the exact same winner and the exact same score as
How
you.
about
so
that?
We are aligned on that one, but I want to talk about Matthew Stafford. And I actually created a metric just for Stafford. This was back when he was a Lion and getting flattened on every down. But do you know who the best quarterback on the play after being pressured is?
Who's that?
Matthew Stafford.
What?
And it's not even close. And he's even gotten better at that metric since becoming a Ram. So this guy, every time he's pressured, he either converts the down or gets a touchdown 45% of the time. The next closest guy is 41%. So if you want another reason why Matthew Stafford is a Hall of Famer, for sure, easy peasy, just no question, there it is. Pressure him and see what happens. I don't think he's going to get a ton of pressure.
Responds.
Yeah, get him.
It doesn't matter.
It's how you deal with pressure. And after pressure comes, Matthew Stafford much better the next time around. I will take one more point than both Greg and Cynthia. I'll give the Rams 25 points in a 25-24 win over the Jets. Yes, we are a meme. I'm going to talk about Puka Nacua. There's so many aspects of Puka Nacua's game where we could celebrate, but here's a fun stat for you. The Rams average almost a yard more per carry when Puka Nacua is on the field. He does so many different things. Defenses are so worried about him. He's been in motion more since he came back from injury. And yeah, 4.5 yards per carry when Puka's on the field. He just makes everything better. He makes Matthew Stafford better. And as the Rams are making this push for the postseason, I do not think that they will fail in MetLife. Folks, seize the season. Brought to you by Caesars Sportsbook. Bet just $1 and double boost your next 10 bets up to $25. Terms and conditions apply. Must be 21 or older. Speaking of the Rams, they'll be a part of NFL Network's Saturday tripleheader coming up on the 28th, starting off with the Chargers taking on the Patriots in New England, and then a big AFC matchup with the Broncos and Bengals. And why not? Finishing it up with an NFC West battle between Kyler Murray and the Cardinals and Matthew Stafford and those Rams. It all starts with game day kickoff at 10 a.m. Eastern Saturday on NFL Network. Time for us to make some quick picks. We start with those Arizona Cardinals taking on the Carolina Panthers. Carolina wronged all of us last week because we all picked them for the first time and they lost. Disappointing as Arizona still has a shot at making the playoffs. Who wins this one, Greg?
I like the Cardinals to win it, in part to set up that Cardinals-Rams game, big one next Saturday night. I think it's close though. The Panthers cover the number, but James Conner and the Cardinals rushing attack is too much. Every team going up against this Cowboys rush defense goes off. You saw it with Rico Dowdle last week, and then you look at the way James Conner ran coming out of their bye. He was fantastic. Big plays. I love that the Cardinals are hooking up the guys who deserve it with long-term contract extensions during the season. James Conner got one late November. Budda Baker, as Cynthia pointed out here, their safety got one recently. The Cardinals doing things the right way. You know, organizations, they can change.
Yeah, pay your good players. It works out for everybody, especially the fans who like watching good players. The Saints and the Packers Monday night in Green Bay. The Packs' only losses have come to 12-win teams. So how's this one going to go, Cynthia?
Are the Saints a 12-win team?
They are not.
Then they're going to lose. Green Bay wins 28-13. I have a 15-point win. This is the second most confident pick of the entire week for me. Why? You see Josh Jacobs? You know what he does? He rushes. He rushes exactly to the place where the Saints are most vulnerable, and that's on the inside. They're going to see him in the end zone probably twice, I would guess, in this matchup. I think this is a huge outing for him, especially because there's so many pieces on the Saints offense that are just banged up. Their injury report is very long as well, so I think Josh Jacobs, massive day.
All right, the Patriots and the Bills in Orchard Park. I don't think we need to discuss this one too much. We're all taking Buffalo to win. Josh Allen playing out of this world. Seriously, why don't we take a look at his numbers lately? These all coming in the last 3 games. He's thrown for 7 touchdowns, ran for 6. He caught a touchdown. He might have helped a few people on the road on the way to the game. I mean, it's everything Josh Allen. So why don't we go to a special, more or less, Josh Allen edition.
I mean,
going up against Greg's Patriots, he had 4 total touchdowns last week against the Lions, more or less than 2.5 touchdowns against your Pats.
Well, this is easy. You remember that playoff game where Bill Belichick's defense didn't get a single stop against Josh Allen? This is a much worse defense, Josh Allen. I would go 4 touchdowns. I do find your lack of respect for the game, though. We don't need to talk about this. A little disrespectful to Drake May. You know who has a higher success rate than Josh Allen since week 10 throwing the football? Drake May. So, yes, I took this Josh Allen prop, and I talked about Drake May because he's a great young quarterback, but Josh Allen's better. More touchdowns.
All right, well, we're just talking specifically about props in this game. So we are talking about this game. He threw for over 350 yards last week, more or less than 237 this week.
Oh, that number is far too low. Why? Because they got to figure some things out in the passing game. And this is actually not a team you want to deep pass against. They've only allowed two deep passing touchdowns this whole season. That's not very many, but they really use the underneath stuff quite a bit. In fact, Khalil Shakir, of course, we know this guy has a ton of those 10 air yard receptions, 590 yards worth to be exact. This is going to be a fun one to watch for Keon Coleman, for Amari Cooper. Let's get all the guys involved and see what happens.
You know, one thing I like about this Bills offense is they are not a team that's just going to sit on their lead. If they get up 30-10, they're not going to get more conservative. They're going to keep putting up points.
And they'll have already known if the Chiefs won or not, right? But it's still they're still chasing the Chiefs. They want the 1 seed, baby.
And so ultimately, that's a big factor as I look at Josh Allen running for over 37.5 yards, and I think that's a big factor. Because I think they may, depending on knowing the results of the game between the Texans and the Chiefs, and also the fact that I'm not going to smash my generational quarterback into defenders at this point against this Patriots team late in the season. It's like I know that Josh sometimes will go off and do his own thing, but if there's a week for Sean McDermott to be like, hey, 17, maybe chill a little bit on the Superman heroics, it's probably this one.
You know what? I'd look at the Drake May number and put that one over, though, just to get a little more Drake May love in there, because the rushing yard total, that could be a good one for him. He might run against this defense. Just saying.
Yeah, who's Drake May's nickname, per Greg, the only thing that matters. Drake May. Still to come here. Baker Mayfield and the Bucs are cruising. They're in the driver's seat in the NFC South, but they've also got a big matchup against a feisty Cowboys team Monday night in Dallas. But who's going to win? The Bucs or the Cowboys? We delve deeply into that matchup when we come back on Game Day View. We're back on Game Day View. Upgrade your Sundays with NFL Plus Premium and watch live, local, and primetime games on mobile devices, plus NFL RedZone, game replays, and more. Sign up today at plus.nfl.com. Subscription required for NFL Plus Premium. Terms and conditions apply.
Mayfield out to the left. Throws on the move for Mike Evans, who gets loose. Down the sideline, Mike Evans. It's a touchdown for Tampa Bay. Mayfield, shot, end zone. Evans, it's a touchdown to extend the lead on a 2-touchdown day for the future Hall of Famer.
The Bucs and the Cowboys Sunday night in Dallas. Tampa has won 4 straight, but Dallas kind of frisky right now. Defense playing better since Micah's back. How well do they play against Baker and the Bucs?
I think they don't win this one. 26-21 in favor of the Bucs is my score. I want to talk about the Bucs defense for a second because we've kind of been giving them a hard time all season long, but they have had an uptick in pressure, and that's going to be a problem for Cooper Rush, especially because as we're looking at the opportunity for his O-line to stop the pressure, it is diminished. So I'm watching these guys and I'm watching where the rushes are coming from. It's kind of the middle. It's kind of the side. It's kind of all over. So low key, this has been something that we haven't been on enough on this show. So just wanted to get a little love to all of the guys rushing the passer for the Bucs.
And they've been really improving on that side of the ball, trying to catch up to the offense, which has really been outstanding all year. This offense has gotten Sterling Shepard into a big-time role in the year 2024. I always thought Sterling Shepard was an underrated route runner and could have had a really nice career, but injuries took him out, almost out of the entire league. And you know how to recognize great offenses? They take players that didn't work at all in other places and they make them into productive role players. I have the Bucs covering this number 27-19, in part because when Baker Mayfield needs a play, he actually has a lot of different options. Cade Otton's made big plays. Sterling Shepard has shown up in the biggest moments, a lot in contested catch situations. Jalen McMillan, their rookie, has been showing up, and so this is one of my favorite picks of the week. The Bucs covering this number. That's why it was one of my picks on the NFL Daily podcast with Cynthia every week.
I've got the Bucs covering as well, Greg, and one of those options that Baker Mayfield has to throw the ball to is Rachaad White, who in this Bucs backfield we felt like was the guy for the pass game out of the backfield, and Bucky Irving was the guy for the run game. But look at the past few weeks for Rachaad White. He had almost 7 yards a carry against the Panthers, and then 5.3 yards per carry against the Raiders, and a solid performance in the win at SoFi Stadium. In the rush and pass game, the Bucs offense still pretty good. It's a tough spot for this kind of resurgent Cowboys team, but we all have Tampa Bay winning as well as getting over that number of 4 points against the Cowboys. Folks in the desert expecting major points on Monday night. Let's check out the highest over-unders for the week. As we look there, 48.5, the big point total in the game we just discussed, the Lions and Bears, Browns, Bengals, Cardinals, Panthers, and then the Rams and the Jets rounding out the list. But let's move on to the 49ers and the Dolphins. Miami needs to win if they want to keep their already slim playoff hopes alive. San Francisco needs a calculator full of things to happen to make it to the postseason. Which one of those things, at least in terms of the teams playing the game, Cynthia, do you think happens?
I think Miami wins, and by more than one. I have 25-23. Oh, very nice. I want to show something about Brock Purdy that has been different this season. Brock Purdy was known for being a great play-action passer. And guess what? He's still really good at it, but he just doesn't do it very often. They're doing it like sub 15% of the time. That's the lowest in his very long 3-season career. However, it is a big deal. In this one, perhaps Kyle Shanahan will dial up a little bit more of this because the Dolphins defense has been vulnerable to it, top 3 in the league when they do it. But the problem is they haven't reliably done it or shown that they're going to use play action. So as good as he is on it, I don't know, why not go to it?
I agree, Cynthia. I think the Dolphins win this game as well, but I do think they only win by 1 point. My pick is 18-17, and it was Derek Stingley putting on a performance, especially against Tyreek Hill late in that loss to Houston that kind of sealed the deal for the Texans. But look at what the usage has been like for Tyreek Hill in the past few weeks. He had 14 targets against the Jets in the overtime win, 9 targets against the against the Green Bay Packers, and then 7. He only caught 2 of them, but they want to use Tyreek Hill, and the usage looks a whole lot better than it did earlier in the season. And Tyreek, the most explosive player potentially in the league for a long time, and he gets a chance to go out there and show it against this 49ers team, Greg, they need a lot of help.
Yeah, I can't comfortably pick either of these teams. They've been disappointing. They're really vibing at 6 and 8, and yet I'm happy to take a just Greg on the 49ers because the one thing I can trust right now is the safety position of the San Francisco 49ers. That's right, Malik Mustafa and Talaneo Hufanga, they're bringing it back to the 1980s or maybe the late 90s. It's a couple of John Lynches who are just coming down hills and they're going to knock you out. This Dolphins team doesn't have any run game, and I think this secondary, they're not only hitting, they're playing quite good coverage. And I think they can look at the game plan that Houston put out there last week. There was a lot of inverted cover 2. Tua had no response for it. They have not been able to go down the field at all. I'm just wondering if teams have figured out the Dolphins offense just a little bit. 49ers get the win.
I love that you said, I can't comfortably take either one of these. I'm just going to give a 6-point win to the 49ers.
I mean, That's what you learned back in like high school debate club. If you just pick a side, then just go hard at it no matter what you think.
There we go. A little high school debate lesson for one Greg Rosenthal as we discuss the 49ers and the Dolphins. Still to come on our show, there's a new kid on the block down in Atlanta. Cousins benched. Michael Penix Jr. was shopping at Costco when he found out that he was going to be the starting quarterback for the Falcons.
Really?
A lot of NFL stuff happens at Costco.
Yeah, including great deals on hot dogs. We got a deal for you. Well, it's picks. It's coming up next on Game Day View.
With the 8th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Atlanta Falcons select Michael Penix Jr.
Well, there it is.
Quarterback, Washington.
That is the first surprise of the NFL draft, to say the least. And it's kind of wild that Kirk Cousins arrives in Atlanta. Placing that aside, Michael Penix Jr. is going to Atlanta.
He's not getting on the field with Kirk Cousins in that contract right now.
In DJ's defense, it was right now, and it took a long time for right now for Raheem Morris and the Falcons to make the decision. Kirk Cousins has been benched. Now they got the Giants coming up. Michael Penix Jr. will start. The Falcons still have a path to the playoff. Does the rookie get a win in his first career start, Cynthia?
I mean, yes, I have him with a win. I have 26-17 in this matchup, so a big win. What are going to be the differences you see with Michael Penix on the field? Well, number one, more mobility, because Kirk Cousins really wasn't very mobile. Number two, you probably won't see him take many snaps under center. Why? Because most of the quarterbacks coming out of college, they're inexperienced doing so. And his coach this week said he needs to take some reps with the one, which leads me to believe he hasn't been working out with them all season long. And number two, he's a lefty. That's going to cause some chemistry changes. And maybe they actually use play action more. Come on, we want play action passes from this team. We thought we'd see it from Kirk Cousins. Maybe we see it now. We know there's a good running back there. Give me some play action.
Yeah, play action
Please.
would be nice. I think it would be nice simply for Bijan Robinson to not have to carry the load that he has had to carry for the Atlanta Falcons during the mid to late part of this season. You go back, he didn't have a game where he had more than 20 touches, than 30 touches. And then we get to this matchup against the Chargers where he carries the ball 26 times for 102 yards. He catches all 6 of his targets. He's had to do so very much. And the last time out, it was 22 carries for 125 yards. 5.7 yards per attempt. And this is with the passing game being absolutely nil in terms of what they can offer. I just want to see Bijan with an opportunity to be successful. And so many of these other Falcons as well. I think they have a win. And I think it's 22-12, and I think it could be even better than that.
Wow. Okay. I could see a blowout because Penix will be an upgrade over Kirk Cousins, who didn't play as well as former Falcon great Desmond Ridder last week. But I actually have the Giants covering this number. The Giants not getting a lot of respect when you're 8.5-point dogs against a rookie quarterback against a struggling Falcons team. But you know who else isn't getting respect? The Falcons defense. I see you. Last 3 weeks since the bye, they've been better. Raheem Morris, I don't know what he did during that bye week, but they started getting some sacks. They got pressure on Justin Herbert. They got a lot of pressure on Sam Darnold, and I know that game went sideways in the fourth quarter, but I blame their offense for turning the ball over and just keep giving the ball back. And then once again, the defense got the job done against the Raiders. This is a similar matchup where they just need their defense to take control. They're playing better enough to win this game, but not to cover 8.5. That's too rich for my blood.
Well, either way, they'll be able to potentially win this game as we have all picked and then sit back and put on some Cowboys hats and cheer for Dallas in that game against the Buccaneers. Let's get some more quick picks here on Game Day View. The Browns and the Bengals. Jameis benched earlier this week for DTR, who will start for Cleveland, but ultimately doesn't matter.
No, I mean, here's my pulse. That Cincinnati's still alive, barely. 29-20. I think they win this one. I just want to talk about Joe Burrow. This week there was like a bunch of, things being like, what happened with your coach? And when you're looking at Joe Burrow, he just wants to win, man. He's had so many games in a row where he's had multiple passing touchdowns. He's doing everything. This team is currently setting franchise records for number of points per game and yards per game.
Wow.
And he needs to keep that going. And Joe Burrow's not the problem, ladies and gentlemen. It is not Joe Burrow. So I just want to say, if he's passionate on the sideline, great. Not what's wrong. It's great. The man hates losing. Fine by me.
Yeah, the vibes are immaculate for the offense specifically because he got the entire offensive line like historical katanas with each a connection to special places in Japan. It is a lot. Joe Burrow's a man of culture. We go to the Titans, who lost to Joe Burrow and company a week ago, and the Colts, who they've got another benched quarterback in this one. Will Levis for Mason Rudolph. Indy needs a win to keep their playoff hopes alive, and I think they get it with a score of 24-13, as well as Greg and Cynthia feel like the Colts get a win here as well. I think that Jonathan Taylor bounces back from his goal line mistake. Anthony Richardson played so well at the start of that game. Maybe a consistent performance by the Colts after kind of losing their season late against the Denver Broncos last week.
We're all picking against Rudolph on Christmas, though.
It's a tough one.
Dad jokes. Dad jokes.
We've got multiple reindeer on there, Mason, so it's not just you. Jags and the Raiders in Vegas. What happens in this battle, Greg?
Okay. I've been seeing a lot of disrespect from Mr. Claybon this week because he knew this pick. Raiders, I believe in you. You're going to win this game 13-11. You're going to waste your chance at the number 1 overall pick, and you're going to do it because I see a team that's still playing hard. I don't know if that's true about the Jaguars. I also see a team with the offensive rookie of the year here, Brock Bowers. What an incredible young player this kid is. And you could say, oh, does Desmond Ridder, like he's their starting quarterback, like he's any worse than Mac Jones? No way. Brock Bowers is gonna make Desmond Ridder look like Kenny Stabler, and they're gonna go out there and they're gonna get a win for Antonio Pierce, because I know a team, when I see it, that's playing hard, and they're playing hard, Cynthia.
But Max Crosby's not playing, do you know that?
That's true. I mean, what have the Jaguars done that make you guys so confident in the Jaguars?
I just love the passionate speech about the fire of the Raiders. They're going to get 13-11.
They're playing hard. They're going to get another win here.
Jaguars.
So hard. 13 whole points.
Yeah. It's a grindy 13. When we come back, we're giving you some of the favorite prop bets that we have for Week 16. Grab a pen and a pad. Cynthia's been on fire 3 weeks in a row. She cannot be stopped.
Really?
No, because this pick is going to be correct as well. I'll say that. Find out what it is when we come back on Game Day View. Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern, Rich Eisen, Kurt Warner, Steve Mariucci, and Cynthia Freeland. And the rest of the crew get you set for kickoff with NFL Game Day morning. Kyle Brandt sits down with Washington Commanders quarterback Jaden Daniels, plus the guys will discuss if the injuries will derail a Lions run to the Super Bowl. All that and more, Sunday at 9 a.m. Eastern. But it's time for us to get you to write some things down as we make some predictions for Week 16. Start us off, Greg.
I am going to start by returning to the Lions. I couldn't believe that the team total, and that's if you pick one team and just their score, the Lions are at 27.5 against this Bears defense. The way they're playing, against good defenses, they score over 27.5. So I love that. I'm going to combine that with Jahmyr Gibbs over 90.5 rushing yards. Patrick mentioned the explosive plays. He might get over 90.5 in one play if they get the field position for it. Let's go Lions. This is an easy one.
Well, I kind of took a hard one because I didn't realize I'd won 3 in a row, but hey, let's go. Trey McBride, who hasn't been to the end zone yet, he scores this week against the Panthers. Why? Because the Panthers have allowed both the most receiving touchdowns at 27 and the most touchdowns to tight ends at 10. And this guy is due. The yards, the receptions, they're all there. I love this for Trey McBride. And for me, obviously.
Yeah, sure. I will take a due player as well because Deebo Samuel was so close to going up. There was the drop in the game a couple of weeks ago. The offense has really struggled coming from behind as well. But I think Deebo Samuel gets over 42.5 receiving yards against the Dolphins. And because this is the only segment where I have a lead this season over Greg and Cynthia, and Greg's making multiple picks, I'll also take the Patriots.
Wow.
Getting over 16.5 points against the Buffalo Bills, because I'm not going to sit on this lead.
Are you combining yours? We need to get standings next week so that Patrick can get his flowers on.
No, we don't. We don't. My flowers are being on the show with you
but
guys.
you're great.
And have you guys watching. Thanks for watching Game Day View, presented by Mercedes-Benz. We'll see you next week.